I do remember the day that it finally hit me that, wait a second, I am addicted to creativity. That's why I spend so many hours at work. I am addicted to creativity, and that's the reason why I don't sleep at night. I have a monster that lives inside of me, but I don't know who that monster is and what created that monster. I think it's time to create a connection and to learn from each other. Unplugged because we will always say yes to creativity. Totally Uncut because we always make mistakes. So turn it into a tool. This is Arroe Unplugged. Being honest on a page is a very dangerous walk. I mean, we all have conversations, right? But we can change the direction of those conversations by saying, I didn't say that. But writing is physical proof of the emotion. Being a stream thinker allows energy to move through each and every one of us. No matter how tall the walls are, we're able to push the negative vibrations into areas no longer poisoning the present. Now, sadly, when I return to those emotions left on a page, there's a huge impact on the reader's eyes. See, I know why I write, but the question is, do readers understand why I write? How and why I say things is to free the system from what's being held back. My lessons in life are not to fight. I've wasted a lot of energy in the way that I do write. But what's falling freely from the instrument isn't guaranteed to be a ray of light. Once it moves through me, the judgment of others is pretty much likely. I do remember the days that I used to have before I was a writer. I'm sure it was a guilt trip that was placed upon me so that I would leave my journals in plain sight. I don't play games with my words. This is a spiritual connection, my walk, my way. And that pretty much explains why this show is called The Daily Mess, because it is a daily mess. It's writing with the ability to be honest with yourself, to be in a place where words are not just words. What they are is they are emotions. They are connected to a heart that needs to grow beyond where you think you presently stand, to be in a place of acceptance as well as delivery. This is The Daily Mess. On the page today, it says, I don't like what you pinned out in your defrag journal yesterday. Oh, God. Then again, I had to remind my inner core that, isn't that the reason why we created the defrag journal? Daily writing and writers are not designed to paint pretty pictures. If that's all you do, where does the darkness grow and when do you let it go? At nearly 60 years in age, I am a man of many faults. But why remind me? What takes years to recover from it is instantly set free by other people's voices during judgment. The defrag journal isn't meant to be spiritual and godlike. The term defrag means exactly that. To defrag the moment, to rid the body of the negative energy. So when overtaken by outside sources, the clear decision isn't to pour fuel onto the fire, but to peacefully walk around the storm. Each and every one of us have got to realize that the answer is not in the struggle or the fight. We cannot fight another person's war. We haven't the skills or the knowledge of who they are and what they're thinking in their moment of now. We have our own issues. The biggest and most important part is to always put God first. Oh, there I go. I stepped right in it, didn't I? Did I push you away? Did it hurt? Did it make you feel like, oh, you were doing good until now? Do you know how many times I hear that? Of course I laugh, because it's a judgment. Once again, it goes back to that sentence. It goes back to, I haven't the skills nor the knowledge of who and what is doing the thinking. I have my own issues. And that tends to anger the challengers because they don't understand the term of give it to God. That's a hard life to live. Because you can't just give everything to God. God, I have $5,000 worth of bills that need to be paid this month. Give it to God. No, that's not an offering. 10% is your tithing. But to give God all of my bills, he's not going to pay them. He's going to say, I'm going to figure out a way for you to pay your own bills, to figure out your own way. But I'm not going to pay them. And that brings up an interesting little conversation that hit me a couple of days ago. An employee goes, so if you win the Powerball and you take home $575 million, how much of that do I get? And I looked at the person and I said, this is not selfish, but how much was your investment in getting to that $575 million? Well, I'm with you every day. I'm walk with you. We talk, we build together. Yeah, you didn't answer the question. So am I being selfish? And am I that way when it comes to sharing thoughts from a page? You didn't go through the methods of madness that were required to put this ink in forward motion. And yet I'm so willing to share it with you so that I hope that what I've been through keeps you from falling into the pits of hell. A preacher once said, I've been to hell. I just want to spend the rest of my life making sure that you don't go to hell. Well, I totally got that. So when I say give it to God, I don't mean just give your bills and your troubles to God. That means if you're going to give it to God, then you're going to have to play by God's rules, because he's going to come back and say, okay, I got it handled, but you're going to have to do this. And if you can't do this, well, we got to figure something else out. And it's going to be a circle of doing it again, doing it again, doing it again. So here's the thing. If this is what you need in life, here is the plan. Here is the purpose. Here is the path. Now stick to it. Oh, God, no, I can't do it, man. I can't do it. No, there's too much in it. You can't just keep giving it back to God. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, until you say, okay, God, I'm going with your way. Let's go. Let's go. I'm Arroe, and that's the Daily Mess.